What's going on everyone, Tommy from Pizarro's Pieces. It's Sunday morning. I've just got back from the car boot sale. Let's have a look at what I found. Welcome back guys. Now a couple of things before I get into what I found this morning. I did film my video for the Columbus Toy Show last week. It was quite long. I edited it down. It came to 35 minutes. I exported it yesterday. I uploaded it onto YouTube without really looking. I should have. This took hours as well, by the way, because it was quite a long video. And then it was all out of sync. I've obviously, when I was editing it, I've done something wrong. I've obviously changed something by accident. The output and the sound and the image, like the video, were all out of sync, so I've had to scrap it, and I am going to have to redo it, which is a pain in the backside, and it does take time, but I'll sort it out within the next week or so. Secondly, you'll see behind me here in the background, I got my CRT TV. I acquired that last Sunday, and as you can see at the minute, I've got the N64 James Bond 007 just in the background to give you guys a little look. I know the reflections are not making it look too good, but the CRT TV for the retro games is pucker. The colour and everything compared to what it was like in the LCD TV, yeah, no, it's completely different. I did pick up a couple of games as well. I haven't, since my last video, I haven't shown you guys, but I did grab a couple of games beginning of last week. I ordered some online with CEX. If you guys follow me on Instagram and Twitter, you would have seen as well that CEX sent me a fake Battletoads game. I did return it and I did get my money back, but I did pick up a couple of other games. So I got Banjo-Kazooie. I've played a little bit of that. I haven't really had a proper chance to play it yet. That cost me £8, and I got Worms, Armageddon. That cost me £8 as well. I did buy Lemmings on the Mega Drive, but it was actually the Genesis version that came. But obviously, because I've got the Retron 5, it doesn't make two odds. But while we're on the subject of that, I spent most of my Saturday yesterday looking online and how to use my SD card in the Retron 5. So I've managed to kind of get around it, and I've started to put some ROMs onto the Retron 5. So some of the games that cost, you know, a lot of money that I ain't going to be able to buy on cart and stuff like that. So, but I am still able to play them. So that's pretty cool. I was playing a few last night. I did download some standard ones as well that I haven't got on the Mega Drive, like Altered Beast and games like that. But it saves money. I do like the whole, you know, using the cart and that. But, you know, I think getting as many games on an SD card and doing it that way, I only want to play them. Like I said, I'm not a collector. So guys, moving on. It's been a pretty shabby weekend for me. I had a flood on Friday evening in my house. So yeah, and I took a bit of a fall in the flood. When I mean a bit of a fall, I fell over and hurt myself on Friday evening, this was. So it didn't put me in the best of moods. A couple of other things happened as well over the weekend, and it kind of ruined my weekend. But where there's always dark, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. So I've got to try and stay positive. And I went to the boot sale this morning. So what's the time now? I'm filming this. It's really early. It's only 9:05. So I got up about 6:15. I was going to go to Pedham, which is the big boot sale, and I opted out and I went to the other one, which is Birchwood, near me, and I got there about 7:20. I didn't realise it didn't open till 7, so it was packed outside. They was only letting the sellers in, and then they opened the gates to the buyers at 7. So I got in, I was literally there about 5 minutes and I see a dealer and he had a bag full of toys. There was, I didn't see too much in there. There was some Iron Man. I see a couple of Thundercats figures. And I just thought, hold on, it's 7:05. How have you managed to get round and pick all these toys up? And the gates are literally just open. I was one of the first in there. And I was up and down the aisles really quick. And I just thought, you know what, forget this. This just sums up my weekend. Carried on walking around. I didn't find anything for about 10 minutes. So I walked probably 3 or 4 aisles. But then sometimes, the good thing is, yeah, is that what happens is with these dealers and these early birds and the scalpers is that, or the lizards as we like to call them, is that they get there quickly whiz round once and then piss off to the next boot sale. But that ain't always the best way to do things, and I've learnt that. Because I ain't no scalper, you know, I am a collector, yeah, I am a dealer as well, but I'm not a scalper. I'm not, I won't pick up everything and anything like some of these guys will. But I was walking around for about 10 minutes. He seemed to have disappeared, this guy, and I see this woman selling some Star Wars bits. Now, you guys know that Star Wars ain't my thing, and when it comes to Star Wars, I have no idea about the toys, you know, what they're worth. I do know who some of the characters are and everything, but I picked this lot up off this woman. She done me a good price on it, and she held it in her car until the end when I left, and you'll see why. So first of all, I picked up this beast of a Vader, Darth Vader. He is absolutely huge, and I was getting some funny looks walking about with him when I was leaving the boot sale. He's the size of a small kid. So yeah, get him back in the picture. I've got that off of her. So first of all, we got that, the large Darth Vader. Then she had these two. Again, these are quite new. They're nothing special. Both of them got their weapons. Chewie's got his little bag. Finn's got his gun. These are like the Titan figures, aren't they, I think. Again, nothing special. Just bits and pieces for future shows and that. Star Wars is always going to be the big one, isn't it? And I've got Comic Cons coming up, and we've got a new film coming out, so that's all good. Then there was these two. I'm not entirely sure what these are. I've had to message one of my pals who's a Star Wars expert. This has got loads of dust on it, so these are quite small vehicles. I'm guessing they're like micro machines or something. We've got the Falcon here. I don't think there's any characters or anything in it. It sort of opens up there. Let's have a look. Yeah, look, it opens up, but there's no little mini figures or anything in there. But this was sort of part of the deal, because I got there, when I got to the woman, I just said, look, how much for the lot? There was like a bag of it and a couple of bits on the side. I said, how much for all the Star Wars? So she put a little deal together for me. These are quite new, these ones. This is the very recent ones, I think. So we've got Chewbacca. We've got Kylo Ren with his sword. These might be from like the Force Awakens toys. And we've got a Stormtrooper. So we're still going. Then we've got this vehicle. Again, I don't really know about Star Wars, guys. You lot will know. Seems to be complete. It's hard to tell. It's got a missile at the bottom which shoots out. This is only a couple of years old. I've got a BB-8 there as well. There's quite a lot of gear here. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad little bunch of gear. So we've got that. I'm going to put that down here, back down here, as it takes up quite a bit of space. And then lastly, let me put that down there as well. We've got this, which is like a TIE fighter, is it? I think. Again, let's have a look at the date. I reckon this is probably from like 2015, maybe. I can't see. It's too dark, but it's got the figure, and they're all dusty. They need a good clean. But for that lot, so we've got two vehicles, two mini vehicles like micro machines, the large Darth Vader, two Titan figures, and a handful of new figures. I paid a tenner. I mean, I reckon that's probably at least worth a tenner on its own, surely. And the large Darth Vader's got to be worth 10-15 quid. So I was happy with that, and I thought, you know what, the dealer was here. That one dealer that I see, because I didn't see any other dealers, surprisingly enough. That one dealer was here, but he's obviously missed this lot, and I was happy to sort of take a bag full of Star Wars gear. So carry on walking around. Now this is where it gets interesting. This is where there's always good stories at boot sales. So when you're walking around, you obviously see people setting up, and they've not always got everything outside of the boot yet. They haven't pulled everything out yet, so it's always good to go back round. When I picked this Star Wars lot up, I was walking around for about another 10 minutes, didn't see anything, and then I was kind of contemplating leaving to go to the next boot sale. Well, I'm glad I didn't, but what I started doing was I started walking towards the exit. Now, this is probably my personal find of the day. So as I was walking towards the exit, I see this woman literally just pull this out of her bag, out of a plastic bag, and she was just about to put it on the floor. And I said, how much for the gorilla? She said, oh, give £1. Now this, I do not have, and I do have a lot of King Kongs. This is the Walking and Talking 2005 from the Peter Jackson film, Electronic King Kong. This guy goes for like 30, 40 quid. I've seen box go for 100. And if I'm not wrong, let's have a look. There we go. He works. That has made my day. Paying £1 for that, and that is going into my collection. Whenever I go boot sales, I always want to find stuff for my collection. Preferably, a lot of the time I go, 100% of what I bring back ends up going through the business. But that, I'm over the moon with that. That has kind of made my weekend. I ain't going to lie to you. And paying £1 for it, I was super over the moon. Even if she would have said £5, I would have paid that, because I know how much it's worth. And I would have got one of these sooner or later. I have been looking at them on eBay, funny enough, recently. And like I said, they tend to go for sort of 20, 30 quid, even more. And box, they go for crazy money. So I was super pleased with that. So then I thought, let me start going around and looking at the new stalls. Everyone's still setting up. People are still setting up. Let me have a little walk around and see if anyone's got anything. So again, I didn't see any dealers. I didn't see any guys that I usually see there. That might be to do with that they've gone to other boot sales, or that I was just really early. Anyway, found some more bits. Now, again, this is quite an unusual find, because you don't normally see stuff like this. Now, this was a guy with 2 young kids. He threw a basket out on the floor, and straight away I spotted a couple of things that I immediately recognised and I knew were 80s. I said, how much for the toys? In the bin, in the little basket. The girl said £1 each, and then the boy, who was a little bit older, he said, no, he said 50p each. I went, alright then. So I was the only one there, and I started pulling them out. In the end, I've ended up buying £15 worth of 50p toys. We're going to get them out on here. This is all from the same person, and there was quite a lot of vintage goodness here. Now, I don't know all what franchises all of these guys are from. Some of you might recognise some of them, some of you may not. But one of the interesting things is there's some vintage Star Wars in here, which is very unusual to find vintage Star Wars at boot sales. I say that, and then I see someone I know put a post up on Facebook about half hour ago saying that they just found 2 of the last 17 figures at a boot sale. So there is still stuff out there. Is it Animan? I think it is. Apparently that goes for like 80 odd 100 quid, and someone found that at a boot sale. But let's go through the Star Wars figures first. None of mine are worth any sort of money like that, but you know what, it's still good, and for me it's still a cool find to find vintage toys in general, let alone Star Wars with the big hype and everything. So as I mentioned, this was all in the same bin, and I paid 50p. Now, I don't know many of these guys, but if you guys are Star Wars guys out there. So we got this guy. Like I said, I don't know his name, and he's there again, but this one's without the cape. I know this guy, obviously that's Chewie. This one's marked 1977, so yeah, of course they're vintage. Got a couple of troopers of some sort. Like I said, guys, my Star Wars knowledge is not good at all. I know that's an Ewok. None of these are really worth a huge amount of money. I did message one of my pals who's just a bit of a Star Wars expert, he said he'd take a couple off me. The 2 that he wants off me will cover my costs pretty much of the whole boot sale, which is pleasing. Another guy there. This one is one of the ones he wants. And then we've got a droid, which I think he's going to have off me as well. So it's a bit bright, the sun's coming through the window. So yeah, immediately I recognised that they were all Star Wars, so I pulled all them out. A few other bits that I recognised. We've got an ET there. What's he holding? A plant pot, it looks like. Obviously I know that's a vintage 80s ET. We've got a Visionary, missing his plate, but he's in pretty good nick. I seem to be finding Visionaries at boot sales quite a lot recently. We've got a Teela. Again, not in the worst nick, to be honest with you, from He-Man. I was quite surprised because these were all mixed up with like McDonald's toys, like recent McDonald's toys. I've got a couple of guys from... oh God, I can't think of it. Oh, Get Along Gang, that's it. Jesus Christ, it just completely blew over me then. Get Along Gang, 2 guys from there. I think this guy apparently is from Battlestar Galactica. He's marked 1977. We got a couple of little monsters in my pocket characters. That's the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I know that much. I'm not too sure who that one is. I just picked them up because they were amongst a lot. That's a Dino Rider. I know that much. Like I said, I just sort of picked all these up together. That looks like a vintage Magic Roundabout figure. There's a cape there as well, which is for one of the characters from Star Wars. We've got... I'm not too sure who these are. I think that one might be Fisher Price Adventure People, is it? There's a Tonka guy here as well. This one's got Tonka on him. I'm not too sure. If any of you guys out there know, let me know. But if you recognise any of them 3, let me know. They are, some of these are marked. That guy's from Fraggle Rock. I know that much because I've had these before in the past and they go for quite good money. It's a shame that he's got a crack under his chin. But still a cool find, and for 50p I'm not too fussed. Got another wind up toy there. I just picked this up because he looked vintagey. He's just got made in China on him. He was 50p. Got a couple of these guys from same character from Black Star. I know that that's from Black Star. Got this wind up toy. Again, I don't know where he's from. It just says Tomy Taiwan on it. If anyone recognises it, let me know. I kind of just sort of dug through the bin. And then I got this guy. This is the last guy. He's got no markings on him. But, I don't know. He should have a weapon in his hand. But he kind of reminds... He looks like something from Dungeons and Dragons. He might just be a knockoff. He looks like... He's like a Birdman. Like I said, if anyone knows the ones I don't know, obviously, leave some comments. So, 15 quid. 50p each. I got 15 quid's worth. That was pretty good. So that was a pretty good morning. I was pleased with that. Not only have I got loads of bits and pieces for Pizarro's pieces that I can sell on, I did find something pretty awesome for myself in the Kong. So on leaving the boot sale, I found one more thing. 2 more things, sorry, I lied to you. This one was literally as I was on the edge of leaving. This is, what's his name, Chip from Small Soldiers. I paid £1 for that. Pretty good condition. I know there's a market out there for Small Soldiers, people still like it. So, and then my last find of the day was this, a pair of vintage Ghostbusters kids curtains. Look at that, look. Still got the tag in it, character collection. So, smell fresh, so she's probably washed them. I paid £2 for the pair. So I was happy with that because I'm sure these can go to good use. I was thinking, I know my mate Rob makes like pillars and all that, so I could probably put them to good use because I don't think they can really be used as curtains. They're a little bit faded, but yeah, I think these could probably be made into like pillars because I've got some He-Man ones there, so that would be a pretty good idea. So yeah, guys, not a bad morning. So I only went to one boot sale because on my way home I was going to go to the one I usually go to, and it's closed. It's closed for the season. It's only July. It's closed. It had a sign on the gate saying closed for the season. So obviously I won't be going to that one anymore. But I was pretty happy with what I got today. How much did I spend in total? 10, 15, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 quid I spent in total. So I had a smallish budget today. I didn't take 100 quid with me or anything. I sort of took about 50 quid, knowing that if there was anything out of my budget, I weren't going to get it. I've got America to think about. I'm going to America again, so, and it's soon. It's only 3 months away, so I need to stop spending and start selling and getting some money together. So guys, thanks for watching. If you aren't subscribing, please consider to do so. Don't forget you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. The links are below. And guys, until the next video, which hopefully might be Columbus Toy Show, we'll wait and see. I'll see you then.